Hello. Oh, let me turn off that music, even though it's really great. Ooh. A little bit too. Hello. I upped the resolution on the stream today, so it should be at 1080p. Nothing's blurry anymore, so let me know if you're having any trouble seeing. I'm toying with a thought real quick to make sure that we can get these chat commands worked out, because oh, it's bang points. I need to edit that command. Yeah, so the point system that we're using, it's based on stream elements. If you know what that is, then you know how to get started. There we go. I fixed the command. Woo! I have 160 grains, apparently. So if you type bang grains into the chat, you can see how many points you've got. We can see what the leaderboard is. Let's see, I'm curious who. Anyway, using this point system, it's a way of just rewarding everyone who's been participating in the chat and participating in all of the streams. And so today, towards the end of the stream, we'll do a raffle for a $20 gift card to the Salt Stack store. So let me know how you're feeling about that. Okay, let's look at the leaderboard here. RestreamBot has the most points. Obviously, I don't think that counts. GT Geeson, Script Automate, Ahmad, Ember Levy, Strillic, Droopdog, Commander Root. Cool. Looks like Ember Levy is the top watcher that isn't a Salt Stack employee. Awesome. Yeah, so I'll be doing a raffle at the end. Thank you, Ember, for being such a wonderful participator. Oliver. Let's do some code. So like I was saying in the chat, I was vigorously typing into the chat here. Today we'll be looking at pop create and pop create item, which vertically extends pop create. I posted about it in the pop channel on Slack, but no one seemed really excited about it. So I'm going to make sure that that excitement comes out. Show everyone what it does, just so that maybe everyone's not excited because they don't know what it do. And today we'll be looking at writing some documentation for how to create a cloud in Idem. Specifically, you know, like you have an API, or maybe you're looking at a project inside of Salt Cloud and you want to use Idem now because you've seen how great Idem Cloud is and the standard of Idem Cloud. So today we will look at how to do that. So without further ado, let me look at code. Here. And let's show everyone PyCharm. Nice. So how does that look? I didn't change the size of my text, but it should be a lot more readable today. So if it's not, then please let me know. I'm pretty sure you can do bang help. No? Commands? Yeah, commands tells you what you can, where you can find all of them. Okay. So first, let's pull up this small window right here. I move this to a new window. Is it still visible on the stream? Is this a way of me showing only PyCharm, but still getting a... On the stream that I'm watching is a little bit behind. Wait, hold on, I can just look at OBS. No, it doesn't get shown. View mode. Window? No, I'm just gonna go to full screen mode. That seems like it'll be the easiest way to do this. I'm going to close out of Slack, though. Okay, messages, they don't pop up. Full screen, here we are. All right. Let's make a new project. I can't make one called foo or taco because I've done that so many times. Actually, let's just do that. Remove -rf taco. Mixer taco. BD taco. Okay. Let's create a new virtual environment too. Then create. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Derek, for changing the title of the stream. I always forget to do that. Really appreciate it. I'm going to call this virtual environment Taco Cloud. That's not a cloud that exists yet. Okay, so we have Taco Cloud. Had taquitos for lunch. And taco is my throwaway variable. So let's do pop create. No, wait. Then Taco Cloud. I need to activate my virtual environment. Pip install pop create. We released this last night. And I actually haven't tested the version of it from PyPy. So which pop create just to make sure. Sanity check. Okay. Pop create dash help. These are all of the options you can do with pop create. Pop create will bootstrap your project, and it now takes subcommands, so it can be extended easily, which is what we're going to do. We're going to extend it to do some item cloud stuff. So here we can run pop cloud CI/CD, docs, seed, tests. And if we don't specify one of these, then it'll just do all of them. I can specify the directory I want to create my project in. I ended my sentence with a preposition. Sorry about that. The dynamic namespaces we want to extend our project with. We'll get a warning if one of the files that we try to create with pop create already exists, and it'll not create any of the files that it has prepared to create. So if you want to ignore that warning, then here you go, a nice little flag. And I needed this because without that warning, like so many times I've used pop create or pop seed in a folder that already has stuff in it and then had to go and clean up everything that it created. So I've wanted a warning if it tries to overwrite something or do something in a non-empty directory. I should probably also make my phone not give any notifications. And then let's see, vertical. We've turned it, if you're making a vertically at-merge project, whose entry point is inside of another project, like when you're extending item, then you'd use the vertical flag. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay. Sorry. Just thinking, just need to take a moment. Okay, let's say pop create, let's just do a basic one. Let's just say pop create seed and see what that does. It errored, but it created a whole bunch of stuff. Apparently I have a bug. Seed has no attribute base. Ugh. Okay. Awesome. I have my first bug to work out. Pop create. Let's not give it anything. Let's just run everything. Okay. I guess we're taking a break from all of that to fix my first bug. Why is base not found? Seed init base. Paste. Is this because I installed? Okay, so I have this templates directory, but is it not getting picked up by PyPy? And that's why, hold on, sanity check here. Pip uninstall pop create, pip install -e pop create. And now, oh, I need to do that over here. My bad. I did it in the wrong virtual environment. Okay, so now let's try that same pop seed command. And it worked. Okay, so my template files aren't making it onto PyPy. That's a problem. But it looks like it's working if you fork the repo and pip install it. So let's look at the files it created. It created a license. That's something that popseed will do out of the box. Created a README, a requirements directory with a base.txt. The previous iteration of pop create would just create a requirements.txt. But you'll see why we did this in a minute. Creates a run.py, a setup.py. The run.py is different. This always annoyed me, is that in the previous run.py, start was just right here. And also we had the exact same code block inside of scripts and inside of run. And so I just imported it from taco scripts. And the if name equals main, it just bothered me to not say that. That's like a basic Python-ism that we weren't using in previous run.pys. So I wanted to include that in the new version of create. Then just like normal, it created my base pop project with a conf.py, scripts.py. I'm extending the namespace of taco because this isn't a vertically merged project. And it gave me an init.py. I can run this run.py and it'll say taco works. Nice. Success. We have achieved programming. So now I can say pop create. Oh, there we go. Target is not empty. And that tells me the first file that it flashed with. Like, let's say pop create CICD. And let's also ignore the error. And do a tree. So here, it created upload code coverage, a build.conf, a Knox file, and what else did we add? And that's it. And when I ran my run.py, it created a whole bunch of PyC files. That was from the run.py, not from pop create with CICD. Okay, now let's add tests. Oh, I misspelled it. There we go. Now when I add tests, now this is why I put requirements in its own folder. I have a tests.in and a base.txt. And it created a pre-commit config.yaml that reads in that test.in and generates requirements files for all of the different versions of Python for Knox. So this is crazy insane. So now I'm just going to go full blown. Let's just go pop create -I. Oh yeah, and then the other change is at the end it says, please fork the pop awesome and open a PR listing your new project. Smiley face. And then a link to the pop awesome. That was another feeling of the previous iteration of pop create, was people would spin up projects and then I want to know about them. I want to include your open source projects in the pop awesome. So we'll point that to everyone right away. Cool. So let's see what, if we do a full-blown version of pop create with everything. It created docs, which gave us a basic quick start, kind of the structure of where to put your release notes, a make file for your docs. So I can actually go cd docs, make HTML, and boom, I've created a website based off of my brand new project already. So That's pretty nifty. Just let me know what you think of that one, Derek. Cryptotomit. Another one is because of this test.in file. Let's see. I can say pre-commit run-av. It has to be a repo with all of the current files added to it. I also have to say pre-commit install. Pip install pre-commit. My current environment. Come on, you're embarrassing me. Why isn't this working? Yeah, please take a look at the doc stuff because it probably needs modifications. I based all of my stuff off of the pop projects. Like I looked at pop because it's the pop project that has the most contributions, and I looked at everything this had, like a license and Knox file, and the docs format for pop, and I used that as my base for creating some of these other things. Oh, great point. Thank you for that catch. I need to be in the root of my repo for pre-commit. Nope. Oh, and I did a git init in the docs repo. Nice catch. I'm not insane. See, and now when I run my first pre-commit after creating a Git project, it is generating Python version specific requirements files for me. So that's something you get out of the box when you're using the new pop create. So see, I have new requirements.txt files. Let's look at one of those because they're pretty beastly. Requirements, and that's all thanks to SoundTech. Pedro. He does all of the tip magic and Knox magic. So this came like straight from what he did in the pop repo. I pulled it over here. Yeah, it gives me very specific versions for all of this. This helps with testing, especially when you're testing with Knox, because it makes sure that for every single possible repo, we're on exactly the same Python version with all the exact same versions of the exact same dependencies. So it makes it so that the tests are running predictably the same way on everyone's stuff. Yeah, that's the new pop create. Also, what we get with a new pop create, we went to a version 1.0 because I added tests. And these tests are pretty good, I guess. So what we're doing with these tests is I'm testing the CLI for different things. Like right here, I'm testing pop create seed, passing it a temporary directory to create the project in, giving it a project name of test project, and then running my init CLI with a patched sys.argv. Patch sys.argv. This is a way of saying, here, when I run my arg parser, when pop runs the config loading and it reads conf.py and it reads all of my command line arguments, just for the duration of this function's run, pretend that this is what's inside of sys.argv. That's what that mock.patch does. And then it runs this and creates a whole project in a temporary directory. And then I'm just doing an OS walk on that temporary directory and making sure that the file structure is exactly what I'm expecting it to be. And then I'm making sure that you can actually run the project, calling the run.py and making sure that the output is what I'm expecting, making sure that you can install it with pip, running the setups, doing a dry run on the setup.py, making sure that the output is doesn't error out, and then doing a build. So anyway, these are my tests, because so many times with pop create, it's like, or with pop seed, you'd make a new project and you'd get something just wrong, and you'd be developing in a project for a few days, before realizing, oh, if I install this setup.py, it doesn't actually work because something's broken in the setup.py. So I want to avoid that. And Derek says he thinks Pedro has insight on how this can be implemented in Bootstrap to new projects. Yeah, if we can get better dependency scanning and a better first pre-commit file, that'll be awesome. What I have in Pop Create, it is still pretty raw, and obviously if you install it from PyPy, it's not working for some reason, and I'll worry about that when I do. Probably soon because I want it to be working. Maybe that's something to look into right now because it's really not. Yeah, if you have any insights into why this templates directory is not being uploaded as part of the PyPy project, that'd be really helpful. Or when I upload all of this to PyPy, this directory gets ignored. You know what? I'm just gonna Google it real quick. Good afternoon. Yeah, it is weird. How to include static files to setup tools. That's actually very easy. Include I can do manifest.in, or I can have package data. Which of these should I do? Are these equivalent? Let's do this real quick because I really do want this to be working on PyPy. I don't want to demo some code and have it not be useful by other people. Setup.py. Why do I have so many of these files open? Spaces. I find all my tabs. Setup.py. Nice that you can actually read what's going on today. Include package data equals true. Okay. And now we need new Python file. No, not a Python file. We want to create manifest.in. Okay. New file manifest.in. Here it's a text file. Add it to Git, please. And then the style is this. Nice. And it looks like we can use regular globbing. So I can just say include pop create slash pop create slash star slash templates slash star. That'll give me pop create slash any of these slash templates slash star, which will mean all of these. Yeah. Hopefully that doesn't include like PyC files. Could I be more detailed? Because also in seed, there's a template that's just license. I don't know. Let's just see if this works. If PyC files get picked up, then we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Okay. CD create and get status if okay, normal. Cool. Get add pre-commit run -av. What did my pre-commit change? Put this back the way it was. Okay, whatever. Package template files for PyPy. Okay, now let's just run pop release pop create 1.2. Okay, so now we have a new version of pop create. Now I can go then taco cloud. I was doing this one over in this full screen. Okay. Pip uninstall pop create to not use my local version. And let's say pip install upgrade pop create. It gave me version 1.1. 1.2. All right. So pop create. Let's just run pop create. And it worked this time. Woo! And just for a sanity check, let's do a pip freeze. Grep. Pop. And pop create is coming from PyPy. So that worked. That didn't take very long. I was imagining in my head that problem was going to take a long time to fix. So it looks like we have our template files included in PyPy. Nice. Okay, so pop create works. It works out of the box for everyone. It'll create out of the box a huge project. And the first thing I created with pop create was a plugin for pop create. Pop create item cloud. So you can see I have CI/CD, I have my docs. I'm already putting stuff in my docs. My requirements that I've already ran the pre-commit on. My tests, that's just a basic automated test that was created. Huh. Another bug. I mean, I was just coming through and being like, nope, this is not what it should be. It should be this, and this, and this. And then it's like, wait, this is a bug. This is a bug with pop create. This very thing that I was just editing. Sorry, I'm just laughing as like we just barely cut a new release and already I'm finding another bug. The reason this kind of a bug matters to me is because I will catch it, but other people won't catch it when they're creating their new cloud, and I need to make creating a new cloud as simple as possible. So let's look at this. So my creation of the automated tests, especially my integration conf test and my unit conf test.py was broken. What I needed to, actually this one looks, no, it's not fine. So right here I have it that it's integrating my, that it's adding my dyne names. This works great if your project isn't vertically merged. If your project is a vertically merged project, then you need to add each of the dynes one at a time. And then when you're doing a config loading, you also need to read config, ask the configs to each of the dynes that you're loading into this. So that's what I want to change right here. We can say, let's see, for dyne in nice. So the reason I did this rdyne is because it drove me crazy to have my syntax checker. Like if I was doing a pub.r, the way it was before was with parentheses, clean name dot something, then it would show red lines all through my directory structure in PyCharm, and that annoyed me. So I switched to using underscore replace dunder dyne, which will give me a red line in file, but it won't make my entire directory have red squigglies. I know it's a little nitpick, but really, seeing those red squigglies, for someone who's OCD like me, it really drives you crazy. And I don't want someone who's editing this project to think that there's a bunch of syntax errors, and I don't want Pylint to think that this project has a bunch of errors. And I don't want to put Pylint disable warnings in here because this is a template file for someone else. So it was just easier to go with, start with a letter and a dunder thing to be replaced. Okay, so this is a lot more pluggable. We just need to replace this with a list of dynes to be replaced. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing over here. Wait, not right there, right here. And the clean name is another thing that I had to do, because before we were just replacing name everywhere. But if your project had a dash in it, like I want to release this as pop dash create, but because the directory structure is put onto the hub, we can't have dashes in something that's put on the hub. It just doesn't like that. And so underscores are okay. And so the clean name is just underscores and spaces replaced with underscores, or dashes and spaces replaced with underscores when doing the directory structure. But if you want to name your project or the parent directory up here with a dash or with a space, knock yourself out. Go ahead. I'm not going to stop you, but I will fix it so that your created project doesn't have issues. Okay. And this shouldn't be clean name. This is also going to be the dynes. And this will still be the clean name. What this is saying is, I want a list of the dynamic namespaces that you've chosen to extend in here, and here, like I want to do the conf load on all of those dynamic namespaces, but the authoritative dynamic namespace is the name of your project. So that's what I want to do. And it's good that we're editing pop create here, because we're going to be using this as a groundwork for doing our Idem cloud create. And we're going to be tweaking some of this for the item cloud stuff. Okay. Something else I did with pop create, probably mentioned this. I have this global rights dictionary that just, for all of the plugins, before I do any writes, before I actually create any files, is any of these plugins right here, it calls hub pop create init write. And when you call hub pop create init write, it puts a pathlib object as a key to that rights dictionary with the contents that it's going to write as the value. And what this gives me is you can have that warning that file exists error if you're trying to create a file that already exists, but no files actually get written. So I can do item cloud create and I can overwrite what's being done with tests. So I can do it completely differently and I'm not going to get this file exists error until I'm finished, until pop create has completely decided what goes where. So then this flush function to clear that dictionary. Everything actually has been created. Probably document that if you don't specify a subparser. I said document elsewhere besides the code that if you don't specify a subparser that it'll run all of the core subparsers. This line of code needs to show up in a README. Otherwise it's going to be a mess. I'm not the best at writing docs, but I can at least make sure, you know. And the reason I want it to be all the core subparsers and not all the subparsers is if someone dynamically adds a subparser to the project, like I'm planning to do with Item Cloud, it'll clash with these core ones. But this makes it so that people who are familiar with the old pop seed or the old pop create can still run the tool like they're expecting it to work. Only it'll do everything. Okay. Now, instead of making a mental note to myself, I've done real quick the thing that I knew I should do. Okay, now we need to actually do the replacements that we put in here for iodines. So that'll happen in tests in I. Actually, well, I'm going to split this into the right. So now when I'm saying, so I'm reading from the template files. I'm reading all these templates up here in my dunder init. Iterating over the template dir, and for every file in there that is not a directory because a PyCache directory ends up getting created and I need to ignore it. Any other hidden files that your OS or Python decides to create get ignored. They get put onto the hub on hub pop create.tests and then the capital base name of the thing. So I'll have hub pop create.test.capital base, and that's where these are all coming from. These are coming from my templates. Maybe that's not very intuitive. I don't know. It just seemed it was the way I decided to do things, and there's probably a better way. And you're free to come in and make a PR and fix everything to be a better way. This is how I decided to do it. So it's in these conf tests that we're having the issue. So in the integration conf test, I want to patch with our name. I want to patch with clean name. And now I want to patch with our dines. And I want to replace that with real quick. What's showing up in my dines? There. Do we have a baseline build.conf file template for inclusion of TMAT bootstrapping? The thing that you just asked, Derek, is so. I create. So here's my Taco Cloud project. I'm just going to ls right here. I do create a build.conf. Where is it? I'm in pop create directory. ed taco ls build.conf. So yes, I based my where I got everything I wanted for pop create out of the pop project, which included a build.conf. So when you build CI/CD, a build.conf is included. Yes, we are considering TMS. And a Nox file, which I'm sure this will make Pedro happy because this means all future projects won't need Nox to be created from scratch. It'll just be the way, it'll be really easy for people to start off doing things good and built for every Python version. Okay. So here we're doing it for the integration conf test. We're replacing this with something that looks like a dictionary. Or that looks like an actual list of strings in Python. And that'll also happen right here. And we need to do that for integration tests. We also need to do that for unit conf test. And the unit conf test doesn't actually have clean name anymore. So this will now work for a vertically merged project or for a normal. Oh, actually, that is a consideration to take into account. Where's all the code that I was just... Wait. I'm pretty sure this is what we want. Let's test it. So now if I say pop create taco -I, because we're going to be overwriting some stuff now. Tests, it's going to be the subparser we're going to use. And let's add some dines in there. Foo, bar, baz, that's my dines. What do you mean pop create not found? Oh. Then taco cloud. Oh. Because I've been making edits, I actually do need to use my local file system version. Target is not empty. Didn't I pass it a -I? Maybe that needs to come after my subparser. There we go. So now ls taco vim tests integration pump test. I don't think the vertical matters right here. And this is what I want. If it's not a vertically merged project, or if it is a vertically merged project, then we don't want to add the clean name because your entry point is in someone else's project, not in your own. So this is what we want. Okay, I'm sorry for all that confusion. Let us run this command again. Let us open that file again. Here we go. For dine in taco baz bar foo, add all of those subs to the hub, and then run config loading on every single one of those, and taco. This is the way. This is the way. And let's just check the integration or the unit test one, just the sanity check. Automatically generated code that is syntactically correct. I actually think something like this needs to be done in seed for the init.py that's created. I'm just full of improvement. I need to stop touching this at one point because there could be a temptation to just edit forever, but not in tests. Seed template init.py. This one. Config.load. I think this one should be R dines. And then this one is the clean name. Yeah, that's something that we need in pop seed. So let's just take this, bring it over here to where we're writing the init. That happens right here. We also have a list of dines up here. A set of the dines. And in here, we've already determined that we're not vertical. So, because if you're in a vertically merged project, you're not going to be creating this in it. Okay, and instead of clean name, we're going to replace dines with add dines. Not with add dines, with this silly nonsense. Yes. And so now, let's just test that one real quick. Pop create. We're not creating a vertically merged project. We're running this again. Vim taco init.py. Oh, I needed to run my seed again. Ooh. That's not what we want. Create feed templates. It. One more try. There we go. Config.load. I actually think this needs to happen in a different way than what we did for the tests. I have ellipses here. I like using ellipses rather than. Possible that we want to add them here too. We'll do it. There's more time than I want to spend it on pop create. I want to just spend my time in pop item create. Also, what time do we want to do the raffle? Because I could just be working until like 6 p.m. and be streaming that long. So I don't know. Maybe when our users hits a higher limit. I want to do something like what we did in tests. Not in that test. I might need this one. That's where I want to get. I want to do something like this for dine in dines up here in the init, but not every time. Let's just create a replacer name for this, and then we can put this in there, or you can put this. There. I'm curious what this will do if I don't have any dines. Hold on. Pop create. No dine added. Um, all right, there's one of those moments where I'm just thinking. I'm already adding. That one. Yeah, this is fine. This is syntactically okay with Python, right? Python. Yeah. Okay, now I can have that, and I can have my dines. Thinking. Right here. Many of the ellipses there actually. But I can also do this. Do not start app. Some people getting new to pop try to start their app in the dunder init function. Functional code doesn't go here, but in Dines, like saying, oh, if you're including this init file in your project, then yeah, add all the Dines. And so this will be harmless. We're not using the ellipses, but if this ends up being an empty list, that will be okay. You can iterate over an empty list, and this will be completely skipped. So yeah, I like that. Now Dines is getting here and here. We run something like this. For dine in empty list. It gets added in here. Nice. That's standard now in all the pop projects. And now if we add a bunch of dines there, they get extended. Yeah, I think this is good. I think we have achieved. We've achieved a new version of pop create already. You've added a readme. We've added config loading, directories, add dines. The reason I'm releasing it so soon after everything is because I'm planning on using some of these things that we're writing in pop create item. Cool. So now we have pop create item version 1.3. Look at how quickly we are doing so many versions. Let's take a short break. After doing all that. So I'm gonna switch this to I think we're ready to be back. Here we go. So new releases. A new release of Pop Create already today. Don't forget to check out that grains command. It's going to be increasingly relevant, especially as we have a raffle later. I was just looking at my toolbar because everyone can see my full screen, so it's like you can see all of my icons for things that I use regularly. What does everyone think about it? I don't know. Obviously, I like the candy theme for the KDE desktop. I like this type of menu, even though I never use it. I really, really like KDE. It just does everything really well. One of the top contributed projects. Yeah, then I got my Discord, NPass. Everyone should use a password manager. Please do. JetBrains toolbox for upgrading my versions of PyCharm. Daro settings, OBS Studio, obviously. Hamac for my updates. Synergy for sharing with all my devices. Quake. I can do this. My clipboard, KDE Connect to connect my phone to my computer, and all of my networks. Yeah, fun. Fun. Okay. So now we're ready to look at pop create item. I think one of the first things you should do before going any crazier is let's copy this manifest file, because it's going to be necessary. Mm. Okay, so pop create item. I mentioned that I've already started looking at some docs, like how to create an item cloud. This is something that I want to look at today. I also want to look at I've been a big fan of Pop OS, and I use salt states to configure everything I can. Helped when I had to get a new work laptop. Yeah, I used to actually before I worked at Salt, I was using salts to manage all my personal computers, and I haven't set up a salt master to get everything running again. So I really need to, but I haven't yet. Oh, cat's just sitting over there sleeping. I really want to. I think I can show my camera without too much. But there's the cat. She's just right here sleeping. So cute. Even though it's annoying when she sleeps at times like right now because then she doesn't sleep at night. Maybe I should doesn't sleep right now, so she's at night. This is Tiger. She's very docile for a cat. Like I just picked her up and brought her over here, and she's only mildly angry. She doesn't even look angry actually. Sometimes she'll sit on my shoulders like this for a while. So maybe she'll sleep up there. Anyway, I love my cat. She's fun. And very like most cats you can't do something like that and actually have them not claw at you and scratch you. So really glad. It's definitely the end of the week. Ready for things to let's you've been using masterless yourself. That's awesome. Cat came down off my shoulder and now she's sitting awkwardly like this. Wants to sit on my arm as I'm typing. Nice. You can sit on my arm. So what are our new steps for creating a cloud in Idem? For this, let's just look at an Idem cloud project. We have over here Taco, and I have right here a configuration for creating a Taco cloud. Let's run it. Let's delete everything first. So Taco Cloud. I've created a cloud called Idem Taco. And so it creates account, exec, states, tool, all of the plugins that you would want for a for an Idem project. So now let's look at this. go to pop create item, pop create. Okay. So this is my wrapper for item cloud. And so sorry, it's the end of the week. I'm really having trouble gathering my thoughts today. So not in taco, in in pop create items conf.py, I've extended the namespace of pop create. So I have added a new subcommand. I've said here, add an item cloud subcommand there. And here, give me these command line options on top of that subcommand. That makes it so that I can come over here and I can say pop create item cloud help. And it says that that's an invalid choice for a subparser, so I just go pip install -e pop create item. Now I run pop create item cloud help, and this time it works because it is one of the valid subparsers that I can use. So think of that. And it added this simple cloud name option on top of everything I already have, on top of the options that already exist in there. Yeah, so that's an example of this pump conf.py. We've looked at this recently when we were looking at heist salt, and it's something we want to add into Tiamat, but this is a subcommand extension. I also need to add these to the pop awesome. We'll get there. Okay, so this is where I am doing my item cloud creation, and this is where I'm documenting what I'm doing. So that way, everyone who wants to create a new item cloud, they can use pop create item to just do it, or they can just follow the instructions, do this manually. So just writing out some notes real quick for in the docs for what Derek and I have talked about for item cloud. So the advantage to item cloud is that it can have a standardized CLI interface for every cloud. So we're gonna have to talk about how to use account profiles. Let's see. We also want to talk about account plugins, backends. The advantage to Item Cloud is that you can have a standardized CLI interface for every cloud. So this is one of the this is what Derek and I were talking about. Like AWS already has a CLI, GCP already has a CLI, but what you get with Item Cloud is you store all of your profiles in one encrypted YAML file, and then you have the same CLI interface for every cloud. And also with account, your credentials are encrypted, meaning no plain text passwords anywhere on your file system, like when you set up AWS CLI, and not in your shell history. So we really like those features of Item Cloud. Item Cloud states can work together seamlessly between clouds, between cloud providers and profiles. I think this is a clarification. Item Cloud states can work together. I think this is an important qualification. Okay, so here's our opening description for Item Cloud. This is my selling point. This is why use Item Cloud. The advantage of Item Cloud is that you can have a standardized CLI interface for every cloud. With account profiles, credentials for accessing your cloud are encrypted. No more plain text credentials in your file system or in your shell history. Item Cloud states work, not can work, they do work together seamlessly between cloud providers and profiles. I need a semicolon there. Your instance from one cloud provider can depend on the existence of a VPC from a completely different cloud provider. And this document will explore the structure of functionality, and I feel like I need 3 things here. In this document, we'll explore the structure of an item cloud project so that you can create your own. How about so that you can easily create your own? Does that make this too wordy so it doesn't make you feel like this is easy, or does it actually make you feel at ease when you see that word? I am not a writer. So Derek or any of the other tech writers or someone who's better with words than me, like come through and make this awesome. I'm just gonna make this. I'm not gonna focus too much on my wording because I could get caught up in that forever because I'm not loquacious. I'm not a linguist, so not loquacious as I'm sitting here talking for 3 hours straight. I'm not a very good writer when it comes to non-code things. Okay. Implementing a new cloud in Idem. We don't need that title anymore. Getting started. First, install pop create item. This is an extension of pop create that is designed to easily, there I am, always saying easy. Super easy, barely an inconvenience. Easily create boilerplate code for item cloud projects. Yeah, and then we want to talk about the directory structure. The good thing is that you are providing minimal viable docs, and that's what matters for now. Many projects have empty readmes, or might as well be empty. So this is a great start. Thank you for that validation. This is what I want. Because Tom was telling me the other day, is like people want to be pumping out clouds, knocking down his door asking for this documentation, and so that's why this is my focus. That's why we're going to focus on pop create item, and I really hope that by the end of the day we can read an open API spec and generate exec modules. I want to do that as part of this pop create item project. Yeah, so we'll fill this in as we go. And we'll talk about exec modules, state modules, passing the CTX parameter. I feel like I've got this backwards. I feel like the very core thing for a project is account profiles, because that's the very first thing I do when I'm creating a cloud, is you need to authenticate to your cloud. And after you create your account plugin and your account backend, the account plugins and backends just need to be attached to the account talk. And then I create tools, and tools is actually where I put my code that actually makes requests to the cloud. And then exec modules. This is where a lot of the work is right now, but with what Derek and I are doing, hopefully we can automate the creation of exec modules so that you don't have to think about this. All you have to think about is states. You have to think about account plugins, account backends, and tool plugins when you create your project. Exec modules automatically created, and then state modules, that's where the heavy lifting will be. After all of this other stuff is done, all you'll need to do is tweak state modules. That's my goal. Is because all of this, I've been doing it for months. I've been streaming it since October about how to do item cloud stuff. I think we really have a good system in place. So good of a system that we can automate it. And yeah, we will automatically do all of this if you just tell us the name of the cloud you want to implement. Then just start writing state modules. And I think that really gives a clear path for what we want to do. Boom, boom. Enough talking. I need to get going on this. It is kind of daunting looking at this whole project. That's kind of what makes me feel. So the next thing I want to create is I want to create a directory in each of these. Let's look at an actual cloud. File, open, what's the most recent one I've created? Idem CSP for VMware stuff. Let's look at Idem CSP. I have CSP right here. I have account, CSP, then a token. This is my first account plugin. Nice. I have an exec module. Every cloud is going to have this. It's going to have the dunder in it. That tells account which profiles, which cloud providers this project gets its CTX from. That's what this does. It's very important. State modules, which has the same line. So we'll need to automatically create that and that. Tools. This is where I'm actually doing things like calling a session. So I might auto generate something like this with AIO HTTP just to promote using AIO HTTP under the hood. HTTPX is still considered beta, so I don't want to throw that one out there. But I do want people to be using async code for item stuff because, yeah, if the cloud provider you're wrapping uses synchronous code and every other cloud provider uses async, then your states won't play together very nicely. So please implement your cloud with async code. Not doing so at this day and age is just sloppy. Yeah. Because that's when you're actually running an item state, like let me I'm gonna open up another thing. Open demo, okay, attach. So this Azure demo is something that Nick Hughes wrote up. And so it is a very complex state file. Lots of Jinja in here, Jinja master. So if I have some huge complicated states like this, my throttle point, if I'm running this synchronously, it's going to take like an hour to run. But if I run it asynchronously, and then it's like, if an instance depends on a VPC being created, then Idem will make sure that the VPC is created before it runs the instance creation state. So Idem has dependency management built into it. But if you have multiple SLS files and you're running multiple cloud states at once, you don't want to run each Azure creation thing one at a time and then do all of your AWS stuff one at a time. If they don't depend on each other, then why not just make all those requests at once and wait for them in an async IO loop? So I really hope that everyone who does this, everyone who implements a cloud with Idem, I hope that they get they use async exec modules and states. I think that's important. Because that's important, I should put that in the doc. Where does that go? What Derek said here. Minimal viable docs. Notes. Please, please, please use async libraries as much as you can. Please, please, please use async libraries as much as possible. Yeah, I'm using this as how like minimum viable product is used. The minimal docs would be like, here, let's keep this as short as possible. And here it's like, let me just kind of throw everything in here and just let someone who's better at writing docs make this a lot prettier. Making HTTPS is the throttle point. Is the Am I using throttle point correctly? I think so. Okay, so I think this is. You can tell me if this sounds very clear. Please, please, please use async libraries as much as possible when implementing clouds in Idem. Making HTTP requests is the throttle point of this application. Using something like AIO HTTP under the hood for your API requests means that other Idem clouds won't be set back waiting for your cloud's operations to complete. When running multi-cloud SLS files. There we go. So I think I've made my case for please. I've mentioned AIO HTTP directly. I feel like this should be tied to the AIO HTTP doc, just in case anyone doesn't know how to do that. I also don't know how to make a hyperlink in REST. Oh, do it. I like this best. Okay. I'm not a docs person, but I want to do things right as much as possible. I think that did it. I don't know. Let's look at this. Hey, it worked. this is a run-on sentence. But again, minimum viable docs. Someone else can make this not a run-on sentence. I'm not a language. I'm not a languager. Okay, we don't have any templates in here. So I wanted to create base path. I want this to be full. Okay. I want to keep looking at that, but it's not what I'm working on right now. So I copied my item CSP account gather, and I kind of want to have this is what an account plugin looks like. Kind of use this as an example. I also want to let me throw into my templates. New file readme. Okay. So I've been putting a readme that could be templated into every item cloud I've been creating. And so it'd be nice to just start out with, if you're creating an item cloud project, then let's just standardize the readme. So that way in your project you start out with, this is how you set up an account profile. This is how item works. This is a link to the item cloud, read the docs. You know, like let's give a better readme than just the empty readme that's created by Popseed. Let's do that here. I also want to create the integration conf test and the unit conf test is going to have to be different. So for now, let's just copy those over from over here, pop create, tests, templates. Create item, templates. We'll just start off with, yeah, the conf test that we got from there. Goals. Yeah, so the reason I want an integration conf test and a unit conf test is these tests will be fundamentally different from the way tests were run in from the way tests are written in other pop projects. For one, we need to mock the creation of a context variable, and we need to mock some of the account stuff for integration tests. And explaining that to people is a really hard part of getting cloud tests working. But if I can make it so that you run pop create item cloud and it just makes all of the tests for you that you need, I want that. That way, someone creating a new cloud, they're using, like, for every item cloud project, there's a standardized way of writing the tests that everyone is familiar with. You can just go from one item cloud to the next and just have everything. All this stuff. Coverage, get ignore, GitLab CI, build.conf for TMAT. Everything, all in one. This is what we want. Speaking of the build.conf, we could also probably have some TMAT specific stuff in there. This is for another day. Actually, it's for today. let me just put a template in here just to make note of it. Him at ... Yeah, all it's going to take to make an item cloud binary is... Yeah, I'm just going to make a note of this, but I might not do anything with that template right yet. Why am I so tired today? I'm not tired, just... I just feel fuzzy. All right, the latest I'll go for the stream is 5 p.m. my time, so we have another 40 minutes to get stuff together. So on the hour, we'll do our raffle for everyone that's watching. Remember, the way that you can check your points is in the chat. Say bang grains, and it will tell you how many points you have. And no one's done that but me, so... You get... For every day you watch one of the Salt Project OSS streams, you get 5 points every minute that you're watching. Every 10 minutes you get 5 points. And I can also add grains to someone specifically for doing a question. So when we do a raffle at the end of the day, your points will tie into the success of the thing. Okay. Okay. So inside of this one, I'm gonna just crank out some of these files real quick. DSP, tests, integration, conf test, init, conf test. I like this. I like typing. The name of the profile that will be used for tests silly that I have to say so, but this is the name of the profile that we use for tests. Do not use production credentials for tests. This needs to be defined in account file. This account file in order to run these tests. And I've made it test development, something really long and obscure that is very explicit so that, no one already has a profile named this. And if you do, and you're using a profile with this super long name in production, then shame on you for having something with test and development being used for a production machine. Anyway, we have that. We have the creation of our hub, which will have item. Why is my roll going left and right instead? Weird. Item. And we're actually not going to have, before what we did with our fixture was we had all sorts of other dynamic namespaces added here, but we don't actually need them because we're doing this a different way. Oh, this is the unit conf test. I meant to be looking at integration. My bad. Okay, here we go. Top fixtures. And if you had a bunch of other fixtures, you know which ones are related to pop that you shouldn't touch. Count subs, count profile. Have the creation of a hub, which will not be using all of this dying stuff. It will just be items that we're adding. Maybe you're adding more, but you can do that on your own. Yeah, and again, you can add even more config loading here, but for a standard item cloud project, it will be account and item CLI that you want to extend. Field hub. Now this is the secret sauce. The context plugin. Mm. Mm-hmm. So this is part of what I wanted to put in the REST documents of with account profiles. Are implicitly passed function calls via the context parameter. So I want to say, for example, code block Python async def, because our functions, of course, are going to be async. Contracts is also what we need to talk about. And recursive contracts. So many talks. No, I feel like this. Where do I talk about? I'm just gonna start writing and have this raw, and then I can organize it all later. I feel like this specific, the function alias thing, this is just a pop. Not or necessarily, I guess it would go down here. Pop isms. Yeah. Popisms. Func alias. Ugh. Now for this, I'm gonna need a whole section on CLI. I think that would be best described after. Items CLI. So many things to talk about. I'm putting all of this into one file, but it could probably be split into multiple files for multiple topics. Derek might know better how to do that, but for now I'm just going to put everything in one giant file describing everything I know about Idem Cloud. Yeah. Ugh. Actually, I am wanting to put this into multiple files already. Because let's see. Not exactly where this goes. So, let's figure out a structure for the docs real quick, since I'm putting so many things. I want to compartmentalize it, and I don't want to put things in a giant file. Like, as I said that out loud, I was like, oh, no. Let's do things right from the beginning instead of doing it the wrong way and assume that I'm going to fix it later. Because oftentimes that doesn't. People say that they're going to fix things later. So Idem Cloud is the very, very start. Account plugins, account backends. I'd rather have that be its own project, own note. Exec modules, state modules, pop isms, contracts, recursive contracts. CLI, tools, plugins, rename item CLI, count CLI. Okay, we made a whole bunch of files now. So item, under Idem Cloud, this is where I want to have the And another one for pop create. Okay, so for pop create, this is where I want to talk about getting started. Wow. So item cloud, here's just where I want to talk about what item cloud is. Nice. Now, I feel like I need the quick start to be open. So many stuffs got created. Nice. Welcome to writing docs. Welcome to the docs clinic. It's like I'm doing Derek's stream today. But if I'm going to automate this process, then I need to first be able to describe it. So I think that's why I just naturally fell into writing docs here. Write all the things. I will. Look at this. I've already created so many things. No, it's not the quick start that I wanted. A friendly message about how easy it is to use pop create item. To use. Okay. Tutorial. Quick start. Topics. So let's do the topics in the right order. Let's decide right now. Let's see. Topics, item, cloud. I think that's kind of the nice place to start. I don't want to talk about the CLI until we've talked about how to create exec modules, because you don't really have a CLI to work with until you've gotten that far. So common pitfalls, I think, should be last. Then we'll talk about exec modules. Page modules, topics, tool plugins. After we've gotten this far, now we can topics, items, CLI. Whatever I was going to put into topics pop create should actually go into quick start. You don't even need to start with that. We can say hit 3, install pop create item. so this is how I'm expecting, and just make sure to let's check this with my own command. Item cloud dash name dash I because I'm ignoring those warnings. I'm overriding Pocket Cloud. Yeah, sounds good. So you run this command and you automatically create everything. Everything. Nice. There we go. Here's your getting started. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Here's how you. Um, 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 I have that in here, so long story short, I don't need this pop create. Whew. Okay. Okay, so I've organized these in the order that I expect people to go through a project. I think I've got all of them from over here. So we start with a quick start, and then we have topics. Item cloud is first. We just want to talk about all of the benefits of item cloud. That's what this is for. And we're going to talk about how to use the account CLI. maybe it's better to talk about that after we've created the account plugins. So then we're going to talk about how to create an account plugin, because authentication is the very first thing we're going to do. Then we're going to talk about account backends, accounts, then how to use the account CLI to encrypt credentials using your new plugin or for your new plugin. And then we're going to talk about tool plugins, because that's where we're probably going to put our session request thing. Then we'll talk about just in general exec modules, what they look like. Then we'll look at stage modules and talk about that's where most of the work goes. Then we'll talk about how to use the Idem CLI. Then we'll talk about silly popisms like using func alias contracts, recursive contracts, common pitfalls. And then we'll have releases of this thing, of this documentation. Whew. This is, I'm not a docs person. It's not my favorite thing in the world to write. Definitely. Okay, so we've written item cloud. The next one is, let's just open all of these and just clean out all of the cruft. I don't think I'm going to need this anymore. Okay. Done. I don't think this is the best place for this information. Not alright. We won't worry about that quite yet. Popism. Tool plugin. Cool. So now we have the basics of our website created. I have a place to put all of the specific things I want to talk about. Nice. Let's get back into writing Python. Spare templates. Look at this README. This README sucks. Find a better README. Development. Clone. Account. Usage. Well. I'll be submitting an MR for Pop Create soon. Please do. What's your PR for? I'm curious. Like, will it be by the end of the stream? Did I release off of this? So many questions. I'm excited. I'm adding requirements for docs as there isn't a Sphinx Rex and separate. Oh, okay. That sounds awesome. Yeah, please do. Looking forward to your PR or MR. Clone that name repository and install with pip. I love it. Let's get this pop create stuff working super solid. So much stuff in there. I don't know where I can expect their remote to go. VMware, item CSP specific thing. Create a new file called credentials.yaml and populate it with profiles. The default profile will be used automatically by item unless you specify count profile equals profile name on the CLI. There are many ways. I'm going to use the thing I learned earlier. What does this look like currently? The account backend or a profile needs to specify the API key it uses. Yeah, what's your question? What happens when the same file exists in multiple trees? Which one takes precedence? Great question. So since you're watching the stream right now, we'll show you. So Derek just asked a question in the chat about if I have a template over here for pre-commit config.yaml and seed, and I have another one over here in tests. So normally I expect people to run pop create, like pop create seed or pop create tests. They'll run one of these at a time. So the one that gets used is just whichever subcommand they've run last. If they're not specifying a subcommand and they're just running all of them at once, then it's based on this right here, on this order of the subparsers. So seed is first, tests is last. So the one in tests currently will override everything. If that answers your question, it's probably not the best way to do things. The point of a sub parser is you're supposed to have only you're meant to only do one sub parser thing at a time. So doing a bunch of sub parser things at once, that's kind of hacking. But we're only doing it with these specific sub parsers, and I'm not going to do it with any sub parsers that people extend with, such as the item cloud one. You can expect that the test one will overwrite the seed one, and other than that, there won't be any other clashes. Does running a command in a repo overwrite an existing file? No, not unless you tell it to. So in pop creates help, we have a ignore empty warning. So over here in the code for this, in pop create, when we're writing a file, when pop create wants to write a new file, if that path already exists, it'll throw an error. But it won't throw an error for the pre-commit that's being, because the pre-commit is defined in seed and in tests. It's defined in both templates, this pre-commit config.yaml. That won't raise this error because none of the writes have actually happened yet. Not until they're flushed at the end of the program. So in short, we're okay overwriting until the end of the program. But if you run pop create seed first, and then you run pop create tests, then you'll get an error that you would have to explicitly silence before being able to run the program. And that's actually the end of the day. We are at 5 p.m. So we'll take this moment for any further questions, but 5 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time is my limit for is my limit for doing a stream. So we've been working on a lot of docs. I'm still hoping to do some work on Sunday and over the weekend to make sure that pop create works, has the minimum viable documentation, and I really wanted to get to the auto spec stuff, but that might just have to wait till Monday. I'm not going as fast as I'm expecting it to. I mean, I'm really burned out at the end of a long week. So without further ado, let's move this to my talking screen. Not my talking, stream ending. Thank you everyone for participating. Oh wait, there is one more thing. We were gonna do a raffle, and we have 3 viewers. So everyone, this is our first time trying out a raffle. The raffle is for a $20 gift card or promo code to the SaltStack shop at store.saltstack.com. Pretty sure that's what it's to. Yeah. So check how many points you have right here by typing Bing Grains, and it'll tell you how many points you have in order to do the raffle. And let's do that. Let's just figure this raffle thing out real quick. It's gonna be lots of fun, huh? Even if it's just me and Derek. Although if a salt employee wins, then I'm just going to we'll just hold off until and just count this as a test that everything works. I know, is that no fun? Because we already get tons of swag from our places. Okay. Hey Ember, welcome to the stream. Let's do some. Right there in the chat is where you type it. Just like this. And it will show how many you have. Thank you. Thank you so much for helping test. Chat. I'm just looking at my stream elements thing right here to make sure that we have the right. Okay. So I think I just need to type in Bing raffle like this. Oh, whoa, that's not what I wanted to do. Wow, giving away 5,000 grains. Hold on. How do I end the raffle? Sorry, this is another stream thing that we're trying to do. That let's see. Ends in 7 seconds. Nice. Well, that happened. Let's see some more chat. Let's figure out how to do this real quick. Okay. Sorry, I'm still looking at the chats, the possible chat settings. We will do a raffle. We're doing it right now. I'm just apparently the raffle wasn't the right command for what I intended to do. Oh, here it is, chat commands. Giveaway. All right. Okay, so our current giveaway is called Swag Drop. I think that's the thing that I intended to use. So the way that you do this is type in bang enter to enter the giveaway, and then the number of tickets you want to buy. So you have to do bang drains to see how many tickets you have, and then I think you say enter and then a number, like enter 10 times. Failed to enter giveaway. Too many tickets. Okay, enter 1. There. And so now that entered me as part of the giveaway. Cool. I think you need a space after enter. Bang enter space 1. And there's 3 viewers. So let's see who wins. Pretty good odds with only 3 of us here. All right, there we go. Everyone has entered. So here we go. I'm gonna close the giveaway. Yeah, how many tickets can you create, Ember? Maybe you can do more tickets. How much do tickets cost? Let me see. Giveaway. No, you. Nice comeback. All right, I'm closing it. Closing giving away, and now I click draw a winner. Maybe I should share my screen for this one. Could be fun. Oh, you tried to enter one more, but I had already closed it. I'm sorry. So here we go. I'm gonna click the draw a winner. We have apparently I entered 2 tickets. I didn't mean to. Cryptotomy entered 1, and Levy entered 1. We're gonna click this draw a winner button, see what happens. And I won with a 50% chance. But I can't win. I can't win. That's not right for me to win. Okay, now that I'm out of the thing, let's just do this again. And go. And Derek wins. We're like, here, Ember, you should keep adding tickets so that you can be the one that wins. And me and Derek are the streamers. All right, let's draw out one more winner. See what happens. Wait, that's the wrong button. Draw another winner. Ember Levy. No way. Incredible odds. So we'll mark the giveaway as complete. Thank you everyone for participating today. That was a lot of fun, and it's interesting. Yeah, this is something I'm hoping to do. Maybe not every day, but every Friday. It'll be a fun thing to do. I can't believe it. Such luck. Such wow. So amazed. Yeah. So that was lots of fun. Thanks everyone for participating. I'll be back on Monday, and we got a lot of stuff to work on until then. So I will see you later.